before the title, but all the same, you just need to have it somewhere in between the head tags. So link tag, enter, then now you reference. So my reference here is the file CSS. That is where I'm going to create the file here. So of course, for now I don't have the file, so I think it's good I just go to CSS and first I create the file before I come to reference. So make sure you click CSS folder, then while there, click new file, then the name of your CSS folder. Mine, I will call it styles.css, and then press enter. So this is the file that I will be doing the styling. So let me go back to index, and then now I refer to that file that I've just created. And you see, as you can see, Visual Studio Code has already seen it. I'll go now to the services page, somewhere in between the title, I'll type link, enter, then CSS folder slash styles, enter. Then again to contact, I do the same, somewhere in between the head tag, I'll type link tag, enter, then CSS slash styles, enter. Slash styles, enter. Yeah, so I have instructed my different HTML files where they will be getting the styling from. So right to the point. So far we haven't written any style here, but we can do that and then see what is the end the results. I may want to create some background color of my body or my pages. So the object that is in HTML that you are targeting to create an effect, we call it a selector. Like for example, you may want this background of H1 to be blue. The background of H1 you may wish it is blue. So in such a case, then come to style, H1 will become your selector. Then you type some opening and closing curly brackets. Then now inside there you can define background color. Then you say blue. So in such a case, then you realize that the background color for your H1 is now blue. Then you can also decide now to do other things like now text color and many other. Then you always check what you've done. So this is the text color white, background color blue. Now if you want to work on the body, then the body becomes your selector. Then you give it curly brackets, opening and closing. Then inside you can define what you want, like background color. I can say let me use aqua. Then of course I'm expecting the background color for my bodies. All of them they have picked that option for my index, for my contracts, and for my services as well. So I think my HTML is now aware where it will be getting the styles. So let us now focus on the HTML. Like now, I want to introduce the anchor tag so that I can be able to link the three pages instead of getting out of one page to another, then closing before I go to the other. No, I want to be able to link the three of them at a click of a button. So we call them the anchor tags. So you say a href equals, then the reference file index.html, and then the name that the users will be able to see, of course for this case home page. Then another link tag, my second page, which was services.html, and then now we type what the users should see, which is services page, for example, something like that. That's what the users will see. Then lastly, another anchor tag linking people to contact.html file, and then people will be able to see the word contact us here, something like that. So these are my three pages, my three anchor tags all linked together. We can have some break tag here so that at least I can drop my anchor tags two steps downwards after the last horizontal rule. Now let me have the same duplicated, but before then I'll wish to have all my anchor tags centered. So just again use the center tag to achieve that. There we go. So I can just copy this Control C, then I come here immediately after the last HR. I have my anchor tags there. Doesn't matter on the alignment, doesn't matter on the numbering. So somewhere after the last HR tag, just have your anchor tags there. So far, let us see what we have achieved. There we go. We have this. If I am in the services page and I want to go to the index, I just click here, then it takes me there. When I'm in the index page and I want to go to services page, I click, then it takes me there. So you see, that is the informative that we were talking about. You're able to move from one corner to another without necessarily having to, yeah, to do much. So I think I did not copy my two break tags. So let me have the break tags immediately after the HR so that at least my pages can be uniform. Yeah, so you see now everything is a bit uniform. Now let us create some CSS to target these, to target the anchor tag. So we go straight to where our CSS file is located. We are targeting the anchor tag, so the A tag becomes now our selector. So A background color, I think I can pick one of these colors, and then from there I can have something like padding, let me say 20 pixels, and then I can have something like a border radius, and I pick maybe 10 pixels, one corner, the other corner, and 5 pixels, the other corner, 5 pixels, then the last one maybe 10 pixels. Let us see how that looks like. Let us see how that looks like. And there you go. This is the links that I have just created. These are the links that I've just created. They have the one padding the space between the text and the border. Two border radius. These corners you can play around with them and see what you achieve. And then yeah, that's what we have so far. We can decide again. I want when somebody hovers their mouse on top to change the background but maintain the others. So I'll just copy what the anchor tag that I have here, but now this time around I will introduce full colon hover. That means if somebody hovers the mouse on top of a certain tag, then maybe the color will change to maybe that blue, something like that. So let us see what we have achieved. This is it. Yeah, so you can play around with that. Now, I have introduced something here. There's a combination of, there are several ways that you can have your color introduced. One, you can use the natural color. Like for example, you can just say green or blue. Yeah, then remember CSS entry that semicolon all through. Yeah, so something like that. Or you can use hexadecimal, or you can use now the combination of the RGB syntax. So like for this case, when you hover the mouse here and then now you get this wizard, you can just pick the color from there, it will auto generate for you. Another alternative, you may know the hexadecimal. If you know the exact hexadecimal for that color you want to use, then you will always introduce it using hash. Like for example, I know black is zeros, so 1 2 3 and then semicolon, then that introduces color black. So you may have to know the hexadecimals, or rather, there are tools that can also you can use to get to the hexadecimal that you want. If you just Google, for example, hexadecimal colors, you will get a number of them. You get a number of tools that you can use to achieve to get the color that you want. Yeah, so there are so many hexadecimals for different colors. Now remember, there is the natural color red, for example, but now there's variations of color red. So you cannot achieve the variations of color red without using the hexadecimals. So like I can use now the jam, which is a 60100B. For this case, if I use it here, 601100B, hypertext markup language understands that. So let's go there, then that is it. So that's what I was saying, that CSS creates the look and feel part of your website, but HTML is just the structure. The structure. So there's no way you can avoid creating web applications by just using one language. No, you have to use across languages. So there's HTML, there's function that is played by CSS, is what is JS does, there is what Bootstrap does, there's what, of course, Bootstrap is not a programming language, but it is a framework that now helps us to achieve web applications that are mobile responsive. Then on the back end, we have PHP, and then we have MySQL as the database. So thank you for that. I think you may try to practice that. Let's meet in the next lesson. Asante.